Hi, everybody. It's Scott and Jen here, and we are continuing our 2-episode series on looking good on Zoom. What we're going to focus on today is dressing yourself up, not just yourself, but your background. I'm going to focus on background first because, as you can see in my particular frame, my home office setup, I've got this wall back here, this book shelving. So this is a great place to show you what you have to do to control all the elements in your background to create the most flattering kind of appearance for yourself. Okay. So what I'm going to do first is I am going to just magically snap my fingers and move some things around just with my mind because I'm super powerful, so that you can see some of the mistakes that people commonly, I know I'm a dork, so some of the mistakes that people commonly make when it comes to their background. Here we go. So now you can see I've got some problems.
Major problems, Scott. It's a hot mess.
This is a hot mess, and it's in part because people don't stage the background. I like to call it staging because I think that's the way you have to think about it. When you stage the background, you are being meticulous and nitpicky about the placement of everything. So a couple of common things I'm going to point out that I see. One, of course, is you've got to get things straightened out. This sort of askew kind of stuff, not just here with this picture, but some of these books that you'll see right here. It gives an impression that you're a little bit messy, that you're not a tidy kind of individual, and that can sometimes get people to tell the story that you're not a tidy thinker. Not very flattering ideas in your listener and your viewer.
Yeah, it's like not being intentional or being aware.
The other one is pictures. So here I have a picture, and I placed it very carefully, actually, or let's say I placed it carelessly right next to the moneymaker here where people look. And people are going to go, what's in that photo back there? That, so you want to get rid of what I call eye magnets. Eye magnets are those things in the background that people are drawn to looking at and analyzing and going, what's going on there? There's another little tip here I want to offer, and we'll demonstrate in just a second. And that is turn your books around so that the binding's facing inward. And so what you see are the white of the pages. You can turn some books around if the binding's not a really bright color, but see this yellow one? This really stands out. So a really easy trick is just simply turn all the books around in your shelf, and then you don't have those eye magnets. Anything else to comment on?
Yes, I want to add. So Scott, if I were to be jumping on a video call with you, here's what, and especially if I didn't know you, here's what I would do. I would pin your video. So I would expand you on my screen so that I could dissect everything that's in your background. And that's what our audience does when there's so much stuff happening behind us, because they're getting a little glimpse into our personal life and they become fascinated by that.
Yeah.
So I would dissect your books, your photos, everything, Scott. And now I'm not paying attention to you as a presenter. I'm more focused on your background.
Absolutely. So in my case, there's a lot going on. I need to get rid of eye magnets and create sort of a texture, right? So people focus on me. All right, so let's get this thing back in order where it belongs. Voila.
Much better.
There we go. Much better. So,
less distracting.
What are the main takeaways, Jennifer?
I would say it's to be really intentional about your background and asking yourself, does my background represent how I want to come across? Yeah. So you said it earlier. Does my background show that I am organized and put together, or basically is it a hot mess and a major distraction for the audience? Because this is so important, because your audience is paying attention. We may not think this is a big deal. Your audience is watching.
They are. Now, What about our attire? Don't we
Oh,
need to focus on what we're wearing? We've dressed up the background. What about us?
oh my gosh. This is also so important how we are showing up because, again, people are watching. They are pinning your video and they are really looking with how you are showing up from head to waist, is probably what it is. So, yes. Here's the question that I want you to ask yourself when you are getting ready in the morning, when you're pulling that shirt out of the closet and you're looking at it. The question to ask is, if I wear this, does it match how I want to be perceived? So I guess, Scott, the first question to ask yourself is, how do you want to be perceived in front of your audience, in front of your leadership team, when you're on video? So when I ask this question with the folks that I work with, I'm always hearing, I want to be perceived as confident and as the expert and professional. Okay, that's great. So are you showing up that way? I feel this is a really important topic because if we're working from home, like most of us are, and we're in this very comfortable and easy environment at home, it's easy to just show up casually. And Scott, maybe too casual.
Yeah,
So let's play some magic and show up too casual. Are you ready, Scott?
I'm ready.
Ah, magic. Okay. Scott.
So much more comfortable.
Oh, it's so much more comfortable. I want to wear this all day long. Okay, so here's the deal. The way that we are looking right now, Scott, it's a very common look, especially working from home and being on video all day. And sometimes this attire, I think that's your workout attire, yeah?
No, this is my lazy around the house, Sunday watch football games kind of attire.
Ah, okay, this is I'm going to the grocery store, or I'm going to go for a nice walk outside. Look, it depends on your audience. So again, if you ask yourself the question, hey, with the audience that I'm going to be in front of right now, am I showing up with how I want to be perceived? So if I'm showing up with my girlfriends during a Zoom happy hour, yeah, I would have no problem wearing something casual like this because it's happy hour. However, if I'm in front of clients or if I'm presenting, there is no way I would show up like this because
Can I add something, Jennifer?
Yeah.
Another way to think about it too is that if you're wearing something that's not really in line and appropriate with the audience, the call you're on, whomever you're talking to, you can think of it like you're closing a filter a little bit. When you wear attire that matches the situation and is appropriate for the audience, it's as if you're opening the filter so that what you have to say to them is getting through.
I
You know
like
what I
that
mean?
visual.
It's not just about you looking good. It's about helping the audience get your ideas, because if I'm talking with a client and I'm wearing this, their filters aren't going to be open, right? They're going to be having stories in their head that are like, this guy, I don't know if I can trust
I
this
would
guy.
laugh at you, Scott, if you showed up in front of a client wearing
Well,
that. I would laugh, especially with the hat. So yes, when we are wanting to be perceived as the expert and perceived as prepared and professional, this is not the way to go. So here, let's get real, however, Scott. We got to be real with this, because everyone's lifestyle at home right now is different, and some are more chaotic than others.
Mhm.
So here are a couple of best practices to really help with this. Have a go-to sweater, professional sweater. Have a go-to button-up shirt.
Yep.
Go-to earrings, whatever it is that you can quickly put on that's going to enhance your presence. It can't go wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would say, think in terms of, like Jennifer said, how you want to come across, how you want to be perceived by your audience. And are you showing up in a way that opens them up to you and the ideas you're trying to transfer to them?
That's it.
All right. Great work, everybody.
What are we
Have a
doing
good week.
next week? What's our next episode, Scott?
Next episode, we are going to talk about hand gestures, what to do with these meat hooks here. All right, everybody. Have a great week. See you soon.
Take care.